Hey everybody, coming at you with a bit of news because Lexus has just revealed its all-new 5th generation SUV called the RX. Now this was the SUV that kind of like started the premium SUV segment in its entirety back in 1999. And when that came out, it was the 1999 RX 300, and you could get that in front or all-wheel drive with a 3-liter V6. Lots has changed since then, and now we have the 5th generation Lexus RX, and it will be available with 4 different powertrains, none of them V6s. First, let's talk about styling. Of course, it's got a new look, and I would say it's definitely an improvement over the 4th generation model. It's got a little bit less of a bulbous, a little bit sleeker, tighter kind of look. And part of that is due to the fact that it is actually rolling on a longer wheelbase. The wheelbase is 60 millimeters or 2.36 inches longer than before, but they also shortened the rear overhang by 2.36 inches, which means that the overall length of the car is about the same, but the wheels are kind of like stretched out more to the corners, and the body just kind of has like a better flow to it, you know. There's a little bit less of that kind of rounded out look, and it's just a bit sharper in places. Also, Lexus did some work to improve the front end look of it, so they're sticking with what they call the spindle design, but this time around it's not all grille. You kind of got this like shark nose kind of looking top part of the front end, and then that goes into the lower part that is grille, kind of widens out as before. And I think that's just ultimately a cleaner look. And so definitely in front and in profile, it's an improvement, and in back, it largely looks the same. So in terms of powertrains, you're gonna have the 4 options that I mentioned. 3 of the 4 are electrified. The base Lexus RX will be the RX 350. That will be powered by a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that makes 275 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. That is the same engine with the same engine outputs as the 2022 2nd generation Lexus NX. That will be paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, and you can get it in either front or all-wheel drive. The other 3 options are all electrified. You got the 350h, the 450h Plus, and the new altogether 500h F Sport. The 350h gets a 2.5 liter engine, non-turbocharged, but with the help of the electric motors makes 246 horsepower, 233 pound-feet of torque, and as a result, despite having less overall horsepower, actually accelerates to 60 miles an hour in about the same time as the non-hybrid RX 350. The non-hybrid RX 350 takes 7.5 seconds if it's front-wheel drive, 7.2 seconds if it's all-wheel drive, and the all-wheel drive only RX 350h takes 7.4 seconds. Lexus will also have a plug-in hybrid version, the RX 450h Plus, but they do not have any more information on it right now, just that it will exist, and we'll get more information later. But then there's this all-new kind of crazy thing called the RX 500h F Sport. So that gets the 2.4 liter turbocharged engine again, 4-cylinder, but then also all the electric motors. And that combines to make 367 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. Lexus claims that will reach 60 miles an hour in under 6 seconds, 5.9 seconds, but this thing is also like properly equipped. So you've got 6 piston caliper front brake rotors on this thing. You've got 21-inch wheels, and you've got a lot of extra equipment and cladding, so this thing looks lower, sportier. I mean, it truly looks like a sporty SUV. And this is a Lexus RX, which was, at least in its original form, kind of the furthest away from sport SUV as you could get. So it's interesting how times have changed for Lexus and how we're seeing more sporty models in more and more versions of the product. And now that includes the SUVs as well. Of course, the new RX is going to have a new interior. It's got updated everything there, but the main thing to talk about with the interior is that it will get the 14-inch multimedia touchscreen that we first saw on the Toyota Tundra late last year, and we also saw on the 2nd generation Lexus NX. So that is now in the RX as well, and generally speaking, I found that it works well and that it's a good system. Definitely a huge improvement from interfaces of old for Lexus. So it's nice that that's making its way into more product there. And they're also doing some things with like this like push of a button door opening e-latch system, they're calling it, and accent illumination and all that kind of like, you know, premium brand stuff that you'd expect. And of course, just like anything these days, there is a new suite of driver safety systems. This one is called Lexus Safety Systems Plus 3.0. It's got a huge list of things. I'll put some of the things up on the screen right there so you get an idea. One particular thing that I noticed that I think is important is this one specifically calls out having motorcycle detection for pre-collision warnings, and I think that's an important thing to consider. So yeah, this is a brand new car. It's a very important car for Lexus and could potentially be a really nice car. Lexus says that we should expect it to go on sale by the end of this year. It is a 2023 model year car, and I'll definitely be interested to tell you more about it as soon as I get the chance to get in one and drive it. All right, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are still watching, I would really appreciate it if you liked this video and subscribe to my channel. Those things really do help me out quite a lot. Okay, goodbye.